I've been working on a lot of older slide outs lately, and my other boxes that I made with the wireless control on there, they have small batteries in them. So they don't always run some of them older slide outs very well. I can use an external battery through these aux ports that I put in there. This works fine. But I wanted a way to be able to just tap off the wires at the back of the switch. So I just got the wireless tool and put it in a little box. Here I'm just showing, make sure that your wires are lined up before you hook them up to this plug, and make sure you have the plug connected before you solder anything so those pins don't get soft and move on you. So I'll put the different parts in the description. This one also comes with a manual switch, so I just mounted a manual switch on the front. So just for convenience, if you need to run it from inside, you can. Pretty easy to wire. Red and black go to the power. The other two go to the M1 and M2, which are your motors. The three small wires are for your manual switch, and the black goes to the center. You know, I just like having the ability to unplug this from here. So, I mean, this wire could go straight in and just be hardwired there with the strain relief there. If you just wanted to make it all together, not worry about having to misplace the cable. So far I have never misplaced the cable, but I just like having it so I can stow it easier. That's the only reason I made it with a plug on it. Testing it with the meter. Press the button in one direction, you can see the minus sign come up there. Now there's no minus sign in the other direction, so the motor will move in two different directions. And then with the wireless remote, same thing, one direction you get the minus, the other direction you don't. This is an example of using that box on this stabilizer system. Just pull the switch out of the wall, identify your power wires. I used red and black for power, and then green and white for the motor. The motor, you don't care too much about where you hook those. You do care on the power input. Okay, there's different kinds of slide out switches. This one's pretty common. Just made a reversing polarity switch out of it. Typically, the two middle posts will be your motor. So you can see here we can make the motor go one direction and then make the motor go the other direction by reversing the polarity. So what this does is give me a way to make it wireless when I need to use the power from the coach. So if I got these old slide outs that draw a lot of power, my boxes, other boxes will work if I add an external battery to them. They can work. So I use red and black for power. So it doesn't matter which way, because we don't care which way we depress the button to make the motor turn. We just want to make it turn. So we can take any of these, connect them in here. So that's got power now, so you can control it from the button on the box or from the remote. So a lot of those older slides have gears or pins that break, so you can be right at the portion of the slide you're working on and be able to move it in whatever direction you need to. I'm going to briefly talk about some other switches. I call these 5-wire switches, and they're kind of reversing polarity in the switch. I've got a relay video that you can refer to explain that a little more, but you can see here that the two center ones are going to the motor. Top left and bottom right are your negatives, and on each side they connect to the motor now. So you can see there's continuity between that and between that. And when the button's depressed, they will open. And then the positive, which is this bottom left one here, you can see those two are open, but when we depress it, then it's going to change to one of those center posts, as it does here. When you press the other way, it'll go to the other center post. So when using this box, the two center posts here, you would hook to the motor wires on the box, and then you grab your positive from the bottom left terminal here, and then either one of the negatives. This other style switch, the two end terminals, the top and bottom there, those are the ones that go out to the motor. So you can see the ones next to them are your negatives. So you can see when I push the button, the negatives open. So that would switch it to positive. So your center post is the positive. And you can see when it's not depressed, the positive is open to the two end ones. So the two end ones would go out to the motor, and then you'd grab positive from the center post and then negative from one of the other ones. So let me know if you want more detail on these switches. I'll make another video. I find that little tool pretty helpful. I use it a lot, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.